The file tracking software was created for my need in my office to manage multiple files. At one time we had 360 files that we were negotiating in our own office and on behalf of other agents. Now it was important for us to be able to keep track of all files, making sure that no files fell through the cracks and no foreclosure sale dates were overlooked. So all these things have been built into File Tracker to make sure that you can see the last status update on any file, organized by status update, organized by the foreclosure sale date, and make sure that you keep on top of the files and you avoid problems from happening. Another good feature about File Tracker is that you can search for files within File Tracker based on property address, the seller's name, the loan number, the property ID for your internal ID. So in this case, we're going to search a property address, and it'll pull up the file that meets that criteria. Now, File Tracker is also good because you can customize the view the way you want it to be laid out, the way you want it to look, as well as the column width for each file, each section. And you can save your preferences so that the next time you log in, the same preferences and same order that you just set up will be saved and remembered for your future sessions within File Tracker. On the right side of the page here, you'll see the first lender status, and if any of these turn red or yellow, that means the file is out of compliance, or in other words, that the file has not moved forward in the status in the appropriate amount of time. File Tracker is basically like artificial intelligence. It's like having myself or Lee Hanish sitting next to you and telling you, here's what you need to do next, and here's how much time the bank should have this done within. And if it's not completed by this time frame, you need to push harder on the bank to make sure the file moves forward. This makes it easy so when you're working with an assistant or someone who helps you with negotiations, they can go ahead and take care of pushing on the file for you, and you just need to step in when a file gets stuck. As you can see, when I change the status of a file, the next objective that shows up right here tells me what I need to do now. Once I have the first lien approved, if there's a second lien, then I'm waiting for the second lien approval. I need to focus my attention on getting the second lien approved. Now here you can see the brief overview of all the files, contents, and important information, such as the borrower's name, social security number, property address, and bank information. This is important for every call that you make to the bank, and that's why it's on the front page of file tracking software. Now within this you can also set a log or log note based on your previous conversations or current conversations. You can also set as a private or public note, so that way your buyer and your seller cannot see this note unless you decide to have it as a public log note. You're also able to create a task within the file tracking software. I can assign a task to myself. Say by tomorrow I need to fill out a financial statement with my client. I'll have to set that task and the date within File Tracker. I can also assign a task to my seller and have them, or even my assistant or transaction coordinator, and have a due date for them and a specific task within File Tracker to make sure that my file is moving forward and have all the documentation that I need, and that everyone who is involved is aware of what they need to do to make sure the file is moving forward. In addition, if I ever want to make a backup of all my log, I can make a PDF copy of the log and shoot that out as an email, or better yet, I can use the foreclosureprevention247.com RSS feed. This is a custom link for this website, for this specific file, for your client to be able to look at the updates in real time, either under the log notes or the status updates on the file. There's also a section within File Tracker to add offers. You can put the agent's name, phone number, email address, the offer amount, and the date it was received, and also mark this as the current offer in play. That way, if you've received several offers on a certain file, you can know which of those 3, 4, or 5 offers is the actual offer that the bank is looking at and approving for this short sale transaction. One of the features within File Tracker is the ability to automatically populate a short sale package. By filling out the complete details in the Details tab, you're able to drag and drop documentation that you want to have auto-populated with the client's information and print that package out for the client to sign instead of having to fill out page by page the complete document packages for a short sale submission. Within File Tracker, you can also create your own contact database. You can add a contact for a certain file, whether it be a negotiator or their boss, and that way you can keep track of who's associated with which file, and any previous contacts you've added into your contact database can be pulled up and associated with a certain file. In File Tracker, and also in the seller's login on the foreclosureprevention247.com website, you're able to upload documents and assign those documents based on the package. For example, if I have a scan of all the bank statements and pay stubs for my client, I can add that file and check off that it includes bank statements and pay stubs for my client, and they'll be checked off in this list of documents that I need for the file. My client can also upload from the Foreclosure Prevention 24/7 website and select which documents are included and if it applies to the first, second lien, or both liens. For example, if my client is uploading the second lien mortgage statement, they would click on most recent mortgage statement, second lien, browse the file, name that file, and it'll be associated with their property as they upload that file to FileTracker. You can also add a user for your file. For example, if I'd like to add my transaction coordinator and let them have ability to see several files, I can create the user login, and once I create a user login, I can drop down right here and select all the files that I want to associate with that client by simply checking the box. In this way, that seller has the ability to look at several files, or in other words, the transaction coordinator can check the status of several files, upload documentation pertaining to that specific file. As we show you right here, they'd have the option to see several files in their drop-down and work on each file individually and see the notes individually for each file. So as you can see, ForeclosurePrevention247.com is basically your private labeled website that you can use to have your clients, transaction coordinator, or others involved in the transaction log in and communicate with you and upload documentation for the file without actually having to log in to see your file tracking software.